Check, check, check. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show in memory of my dad, who had a Guinness almost every week until his dying day. And I know you're not supposed to drink water, but you know what I mean. It is lemon water. But shout out to anyone that has had a Guinness in their life and has enjoyed it. I don't drink, but if I did, I'm sure I'd have a Guinness. God bless each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for jumping on in And may God bless the Irish and all the people in the world. Thank you for being on the live stream. Shout out to everybody here on the live. And you know what? This is my dad's shirt. Another shirt that he left. Nice Tommy Hilfiger shirt, too. It's pretty nice. A little big on me. It drapes a little bit, but I wear it to remind myself of my dad. Second shirt of my father's that he left me before he passed, man. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in. So don't say anything about how it moves around or it looks a bunch of... I get it. It's got these little mores. But let's jump into the chart. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Expect volatility Sunday night into Monday. I don't like to trade on those nights. It can be very treacherous. And just, it's so predicting. Like Sunday night is so predicting. I mean, it's so obvious what it does. Like, its up and down movement is obvious. It's what happens. Shout out to XRP going up. We put this out in the trading group. I like to go over some of the wins real quick. If you're in the trading group, you would have seen my post here on 6-1. Check. Let me make sure everything's still working here. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. I'm working over here. Shout out to everybody here. But look, XRP. All right. And if we look at it on 6-1 at 10:41 a.m., I'm working hard for you 3 days ago. I put out this beautiful flag on the 1 hour time frame, likely to make a move for XRP. And there we are back on the 1 hour time frame. This flag hit exactly like it was supposed to. I don't know how many times I've posted something and it is hit. The before and afters just kind of run crazy here. There's your before. There's your after. You can clearly see you never would have been stopped out. Perfect entry, perfect place to get in. How do I do it? How do I know? How does it happen? Not every single time, but it feels like every single time because I just know, baby. I just know. And there you go, XRP before and after for 8.96% in 3 days. You got to love it. When the market's flat, we still produce a gain. All right? We still produce a gain. Shout out to the 206 people here on the live. 83 likes. All right, I'm going to do this one more time. If you don't put the like button, I'm going to go crazy, baby! Hit the goddamn like button for crying out loud, or I'll take you to Ireland myself and throw you off the cliffs of Moher. For crying out loud, I'm a warrior boy. I'm a warrior. This is not your average YouTube channel. For Christ's sakes. Enough is enough. My father would have whipped himself for not hitting the like button. How dare each and every one of you? How can you look at the mirror and deal with yourselves? For crying out loud. Take your life by storm. Stop being a whiffling wind, piece of garbage in the wind floating around. Stand for something. Either you stand for something or you stand for nothing. Hit the gosh golly dang like button. I ain't playing with you. If you want me to treat you like your little brothers, I will. For crying out loud. All right, I got that off my chest. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Might I digress? Got a little sweaty there too. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves volatile on Sunday into Monday night. It's the worst night to trade, right? Including Monday, all right? Because Bitcoin goes up and down. That's what it does. But it does it violently on a Sunday night. Look, we spiked up to 27,465. All I wanted to do was liquidate the longs, liquidate the shorts right there. That's all they were doing. Getting the shorts out of the way so they could bring the price right back to the downside, all right? And then we got the whipsaw, and that is what it is, all right? I just got a text. Someone probably yelling at me now. She's quite the musician. The Dati song. She's so funny. And I might have to use my glasses here as it gets late into the night for me. I was just watching all these little documentaries about Ireland. Remind me of my father and all the Irish. Oh, the Irish. We're a crazy bunch, you know? Shout out to everybody here. Sláinte. If you're Irish. If you're not, I still love you. Don't worry. I love all walks of life. It does not matter what you do or where you're from. All right? Ooh. So looking at Bitcoin, let's break it down like we do every single day. Symmetrical triangle still mostly intact, I'd have to say. And you can kind of say we're trying to lose it a little bit here. Remember, ascending triangles can break down. They're not always to the upside. They're 50-50 patterns, all right? But look, we had 1, 2, then the whip. That's the whip. Look, you have the wick here to the side, wick here to the side. You have the secondary, and then you have the whiplash. You're getting the same type of price action we got right here, as I pointed out beforehand. And it's funny, my old TA is still sitting there from beforehand. I called that flag, called this little flag, and we were right on ever since then. But, you know, as I said in my my morning update this morning, look how similar these two patterns look. They're both in ascending triangles. You know what I mean? I see both of that. So it's interesting, to say the least. It's interesting. So moving forward on the weekly. All right. And so what we do is every single week, I go over Bitcoin in the weekly candle. The weekly candle close. And there we have it. A beautiful weekly close, is it? Let's take a look, shall we? So let's take a look at the weekly candle close for Bitcoin. And it was a red week. It wasn't good. It wasn't amazing. It was tough. All right. No eat, no pay, baby. No eat, no pay coming on in there. So the weekly candle opened at 28,070. The high was 28,473 and 93 cents. The low was 26,508. The candle would close at 27,122 and 4 cents. It would go down $948, down 3.38%. All right, on the weekly candle. So, and shout out to everyone that puts in the due diligence to kick it with the weekly candle, because this gets us ready for the week ahead. As I said before, as long as we stay above the 200 SMA, if we don't close a weekly candle below this yellow line, I remain bullish. Just like I was bullish here, but once we closed that candle below, it was bear city and we went to the downside. Once we closed above, it's bull city, and we've been above ever since. So the 200 SMA is the road to movement, the road to love. And the first thing that happens is the 21 crosses the 200 SMA. And we discussed these ideas, and we went over them before in depth on multiple assets. I brought you through the weekly, and I showed you when the 21 crosses the 200 SMA on multiple assets around the world, from oil to the Dow Jones to gold and more. And I was able to, convey these messages to you. My team, we should bust out. I don't know if you guys have that anywhere, but I remember doing that in depth, where I went through all the times the 21 crossed the 200 SMA on the weekly, and I showed how it definitely does eventually show a pretty big move coming. So that's one idea, and I see these moving averages getting crunched, getting tight. A move is coming for Bitcoin. You can see here on the weekly too, we're in between the 80 and the 200 SMA, and we're just kind of channeling between these two moving averages. If you were to take a Bollinger Band, right, which is basically based off the same concept, and I just write BB, Bollinger Bands here, and you would see the Bollinger Bands slowly getting closer together. When we eventually get nice and tight, that's going to tell us a pretty big move is coming for Bitcoin. And we're not really near, we were near the edge there. Look, that was the rejection of the Bollinger Band. But I would suggest this kind of milling around, it could come up, come down, but when these get super tight, like just there, they got pretty close. And they're not super far apart. Like on the weekly, they're very far apart. If you look at them on the daily, they're so tight, it's ridiculous. When the Bollinger Bands get this tight, a big move is coming. I'm telling you right now, a big move is coming. Look at the last time they got that tight, massive move up, all right? And they could also convene a massive move down depending on the trend, but right now the trend's to the upside. That's really, really tight. We got to move out, right? And that's very tight right there. We haven't been as tight as we are since back here in these zones, when we made this big jump to 14K and when we kind of brought ourselves out of the pandemic lows. That's the last time these were this close. I mean, they got pretty close right there too for the little bit of a dip, but they are like in lockstep right now on the daily time frame. They're so close together. When the Bollinger Bands get close, it tells you something is brewing. John Bollinger, my man, and he really is a real person. You can see him on Twitter. I find it fascinating. But yeah, shout out to the 300 people here, 153 likes. Just not going to cut it, man. That's just kind of like scallywagging, you know what I mean? It's like the halfway point of life when you just put half of your life in there. And there's John Bollinger, technical analyst, inventor of the Bollinger Bands. And he's been doing it ever since, right? Bollinger Capital. He goes hard. He does portfolio management, BollingerBands.com, right? And there's John Bollinger. Bollinger Bands are define high and low on relative basis. By definition, prices are high at the upper band and low at the lower band. Yep. BBP squeeze and head fake. First target, middle band achieved. Next, lower band. Interesting. And he's talking about that was on the 31st there. And we did come to that. We hit the top target. We came to the lower middle band, right? Bollinger Bands, And there's John Bollinger, right? Dear miscreants in D.C., do your job. I like that. Yeah, amen. Amen. New shipment of puer for me. I wonder what he's eating there. Puer? What is puer? Now I have to find out what that is. What does John Bollinger eat? If you made a Bollinger Band and you manage millions, billions of dollars worth of capital, he's a variety of fermented tea produced from Yunnan province of China. Oh, yeah. Is a variety of fermented tea traditionally produced in Yunnan province, China. In the context of traditional Chinese tea production terminology, fermentation refers to the microbial fermentation called wet pulling, and is typically applied after tea, yada, yada, yada. You can find out yourself, but wow, he gets the good stuff. He doesn't play around. John Bollinger likes his tea. That's what we figured out today on the live stream. So, and Bollinger Bands, I want to see Bollinger Capital. Asset management by the creator of the Bollinger Bands. Wow, our mission is to help grow your assets so you have the resources to make your goals a reality. At Bollinger Capital, we place high value on personal relationships with our clients. In a fiduciary, we always act in your best interest. Yep. Managed by John. He's an internationally recognized developer of the Bollinger Bands and a suite of technical investment tools that experience the insight, provides the foundation for our investment strategies. Pretty awesome. Johnny Bollinger, right? Anyway, let's get back into brass tacks and break it down for you. So what do I see happening today for Bitcoin? What's going down? We were looking for a right shoulder, head. I was looking for this right shoulder all day. We made it. We made the right shoulder in 10 hours. I was talking about it since like 8 this morning. It took all day. And then we got the wickage to the up and to the downside. I said no longs for me until we break 27,350, and that's still in place. This resistance. We can't seem to close a candle above resistance. You can wick above it, but if you can't close a candle, higher than that, you're in trouble. You're basically in trouble. You can't seem to get the move to the upside. We could still kind of hang out here and say we're tapping, and we're kind of still in the channel. So what we want to see is we want to get that bounce back to the upside. We want to see an oversold 15-minute with a bit of a move back up out of this falling wedge to the upside. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for this bounce right now back to the upside. Very high risk, but it's the most likely scenario. There's a 68% chance you do break out of this to the upside, right? Anything is possible, all right, when trading, and that's the probability. Also, what that wick up is telling us, there's a good chance we could get it. We held 27,050, 27K even. And lo and behold, we're still in this bigger channel, which I'm going to kind of discuss too as well. And we'll remove the moving averages just so you can see what I'm seeing. It may not be as easy for you to see what I see. I can see it all, but I know, I got that camouflaged lifer vision. So what I'm showing you right now, just in case you weren't sure, and I want to make it very clear for the beginners and then everybody watching, is this yellow structure here, which is an ascending triangle. An ascending triangle has an upward trending downside and a flatter top side. That's what makes it an ascending triangle, all right? But inside the ascending triangle, lost my voice there almost, we have a bit of a up and down trending channel. Up, down, up, down, up, down. If you ever trotted on a horse, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, it's likely we come back to the top of the channel. This time, it would be higher than the resistance. That's what we want. That's what we want to see this continue to move. We want to break the roof of the ascending triangle to the upside. Will that happen? Only time will tell. Right now, I like this swing trade on the 15-minute to the upside, back to about 27,300. That looks highly probable in my humble opinion, all right? But Sunday night into Monday is the most volatile night of the week. Trades go up and down. It gets out of control. We got to be very, very careful, all right? That's just one thing that we have to discuss. I've gone over this weekly chart over and over again until I'm blue in the face, and I won't stop. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks now in this beautiful little bull. That's a bull flag to me. I've played many of those in my life that have played out to the upside, including this XRP. I mean, that 1 hour looks just like the weekly for Bitcoin. You get it? You see what I'm saying? And that boomed to the upside for 8%. Can we get the 8% move for Bitcoin? All right, to 38,500 area into the new resistance zone. We may have a little bit of trouble right in here, but that's kind of where we previously resisted. So once we get back above that, I would expect a quick move up. And we also had a smooth move right here. So I would expect a fast move up to $38,008, $38,002, somewhere up into the $38,000 region. Then I would expect a bit of a pullback, probably retesting 30,000, maybe even a wick down to 29 to scare people before we get our initial further move back to the upside. We've also discussed this as a cup and handle, and I've gone over this many times. It's sad there's not much more to talk about on the bigger time frame. This is what it is. The weekly also has jettisoned all the way down on the stochastics. The RSI has stayed pretty flat, and we've got lack of sell pressure here. That should have been a way bigger, downward pressure on the MACD, and it's telling us, hey, there's just a lack of sellers. Also, when you have falling volume with falling price, you have it's way more, basically you have a high percentage that you're going to break to the upside. So when you have falling volume with falling price, Bitcoin chart flashes a bullish signal that could lead to breakouts in ADA, Quant, Render, and Ripple, or RPL, Rocket Pool, right? That's an interesting little idea there from Cointelegraph. Let's see what they're saying there. I agree with this idea, and I've been talking about it. What is their bullish signal? The 20-day exponential moving average for the past 3 days. This suggests that the bulls are buying the dip near 26,500. Interesting. And my indicators also suggest the same. And see how you can get the news right out of the chart? Pretty nice, right? And you can hit this idea too and see the balance of the trade and all that fun stuff. Forecast, previous, actual forecast. So we're looking here to stay above the 200 SMA on the weekly. We want to see this 21 cross. When this 21 does cross, it's going to be a very nice bullish sign. Let's see if our next week can close bullishly and not bearishly as it did here, right? However, it was not a bullish engulfer, and it also had wick, and wick. And we never even went to the low of this wick, which was 25,000, about 829. We'll see where that really, the low was 25,800. Ever since 25.8, that's been a very nice area to jump on in. You remember the lifers, we were buying Bitcoin at 23, at 19, at 16, at 17. We've been loading up based off this bullish divergence on the weekly. That suggests that that will be our low. I am 95% sure, maybe even 99, I'll go as far as that. I'll leave 1%, that is going to be your bottom for the bear market. And we will never see a lower low than that. I've been saying that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Other analysts, they dance around. It could go here, it could go there. It is what it is. I've been stone cold saying that is our bottom. I basically figured that was going to be our bottom there at 18,006 or even at 17.5, because of the bullish divergence. But we got one more move down with the Black Swan event with FTX. They sold off their holdings too, try to get money for that because they knew the feds were coming for them and they started getting ready, something like that. But they had to gain some capital. They sold off everything they had. And that's why we went sideways. Remember, if you were in this channel with me, I called this cup and handle down here. I saw other channels jump on the bandwagon maybe a few days later, but I was really one of the first known, analysts. Like, I'm not saying I'm like world famous or nothing, but people know me around the way in cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? They know that the lifer rings bells around the world. So that's your cup and handle to the upside. And we know cup and handles explode nicely. And also we had the gap there in the VRVP. I kept telling everyone, do not be surprised if we can get from 16 all the way back to 19,000 because of the gap in the VRVP. It was a simple trade. Cup and handle, above the point of control, gap in the VRVP, and we even went further up all the way, which I couldn't believe that night. Jason Casper came on my show, if you remember that night, when we pumped all the way to 21,000. I think that's the last time we shared the screen together, and it's been magical ever since. So, and then we came down and we filled the CME gap unexpectedly, but we had a bearish divergence that had to play out. What is bearish divergence? Well, we had this beautiful slope up, but price action was sloping down. And lo and behold, we got a nasty move to the downside. We had a similar bearish divergence here as well, as this is swinging to the upside and this is swinging to the downside. And we did get the jettison up, but got bought back up. We even have the shoulder, head, shoulder. The measured move of this complex head and shoulder was way lower, all the way to the 200 SMA. However, it never happened. It says that there's immense buy pressure for Bitcoin above this level. And too many people all have their orders here like, oh, I'm going to safely buy the known resistance that everybody knows about. That's why I front-runned it a few times too and been buying a little bit more Bitcoin in the 26, 25.8, 26.3 regions in this zone. If we ever get it back in that zone, this is, to me, the place to get down. Now, everyone's looking at me crazy like, wait, I thought that we're going to go into a recession. I thought that it's all bad. I thought that it's all doom and gloom and that the real estate market's going to crash. The stock market's going to crash. And then we're all going to have nothing and be happy. And, they got the masses really freaking out. They have the average person thinking Bitcoin's going all the way to 10K again. Then you have a few analysts that are open-minded enough to say, hey, anything could happen. We probably see likely 17, 18. And they just say whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm steadfast in my ways. Like, I don't change my trading style. I called this top for Bitcoin here on bearish divergence on the weekly time frame because I know my bearish divvy. If we swing back to the weekly, it was so apparent that was bearish divergence. It was so obvious to me that wasn't going to continue. We are also too far away from the 21-day moving average, which told me a big move was likely to come back down to the 21 and more. If you remember correctly, I even drew this bear flag. And I called for, I think, even a $7,000 Bitcoin at one point because that was the measured move. Yeah, down to about 7 grand, something like that, 7 grand. People laughed at me until we got to here. I remember watching a random video where someone's like, this guy, the crypto lifer, he said $7,000 Bitcoin. But I saw that as a bear flag. I knew we were going down. But once we found that bullish divergence, I called the bottom for Bitcoin, just like I called the top here. And I'm one of the only channels that bought Bitcoin live in front of everybody. Like, name a YouTuber that bought Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin. I put my whole guts on the line, right? I put everything I am on the line to show you that I'm not just a guy that does TA and runs his mouth. I'm a guy that actually does what he says he's doing. I'm a guy that actually puts his money where his mouth is. I'm a guy that actually is all in on Bitcoin. So, and I do keep cash on the sidelines. I'm not saying every single thing I own is in Bitcoin. I do keep a stack of cash on the sidelines in case I need to, re-up or buy some more on the lows. But I'm telling you right now, as strong as I was about the top here for Bitcoin, I'm as strong as the bottom right here. And we may dip a little bit. We may go to 23. We may go to 21. We may even tap 19. Anything could happen. But I'm telling you right now, there's a 99% chance in my mind, after all the TA I've done on multiple assets through the world, all the way from the dinosaur, which is the beginning of Bitcoin, that's why it's a little dinosaur, where things began, all the way when we were less than a penny for Bitcoin, and we made our move all the way. So again, name the channel that's been stone cold calling the bottom and not saying, oh, maybe, or if, or it has to be. And I know as a trader, I have to be open-minded and believe anything is possible. And I am. And that's why you never know. But I'll leave 1% chance out there. There's, And so I just, it does sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm just giving you guys the exact ideas here. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So I love you all. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Lifer Friend. Lifer, can you give your opinion on the hour or the 30 time frame Bitcoin? I will. I do it all the time. So basically, MEXC is dumping your tokens and leverage shorting it at the same time. Then cancel withdrawals because they no longer have your funds. Are you kidding me, man? Come on, man. Why are you spreading FUD, man? That's so crazy. It's so strange. MEXC is dumping your tokens and leverage shorting it at the same time. And then cancel withdrawals because they... What are you talking about? Jen, tell us what you're talking about, because I'm open-minded. I don't want to shut you down. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. They denied mining, the mining on Bitcoin. They took that. Yeah, that's all FUD for MEXC, man. This guy probably works for Bybit, and he's just trying to FUD MEXC. So just be careful, everyone. I'll just let you know, I work closely with MEXC, and I talk to the reps all the time. They actually loved me the other day. They reached out, and they said, we want to give you a bonus, and the bonus came through. So I just want to let you know that... there's no problems on MEXC. MEXC is doing very well. So again, anything could happen. I don't put all my funds on MEXC. I'll just make that very, very clear. I just want to make it clear. You know what I mean? But that's FUD, man. We're going to 25 and then we will pump to the moon. I don't know where we're going. I don't say stuff like that. I look at the charts. The charts tell me where we're going. I don't actually tell you where we're going. I will call bottoms and tops based off massive divergences that most people just don't have the guts to call out. But I will do, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. I watched YouTube for a long time, and I watched a lot of great analysts, and I still watch people on and off that I respect and love. I never saw them put their money down. You know what I mean? I never saw them put their money down. So use a burner wallet if you're going degen. Amen. Amen. I like what he's saying. 0% spot maker and taker fees, man. 0 future maker fee and 0.1% taker fee. That is the key, right? Less fees when you're buying. Today I bought some more Caspa. I bought some more AGIX. I DCA'd into some awesome positions that I'm continuing to build for the bull market in 2025, 2024, and 2025 and beyond. All right. They're getting Planet listed, win free, right? Kickstarter, vote for Planet. They're continuing to add new coins that nobody even knows about, talks about, or has any idea what's happening in the market. If we go to their markets right now too and see what's hot today, let's see what happened in the market. So Bobo, oldie but goodie, they're up 107%. Not oldie, but pepperoni. I've never heard of it. LGBTQ gays Inu. That's pretty funny. You got to give that to them. VRS, Pepe XL, which I don't know. Come on, man. I wouldn't trade any other byproduct to Pepe. Care, Snack. They got Snack on there, which is interesting. Snack is a Cardano coin of 20%. Snack getting the love. That's pretty awesome. And B Zen, which is Bitcoin Zen, I guess. And Zen is all over the place. You can put Zen on multiple. Jack Levine created it. It's pretty nuts. It's got a lot of movement to it. I believe Zen could be a big project in the long run. There's ways to use it, though, and use it right. There's the real coin, Zen Crypto, right there, I guess, right? That's up 16%. So Zen's starting to get a bit of a move back to the upside. Interesting to see. Love me some AJX. No hate, just evidence. Yeah, well, tell me, like, send me an email. Tell me what you're saying, man. I'll do a deep dive on it, and I'll send it to my guy. Lost nothing, just interested in what's happening. Yeah, I think you're just repeating. I think you're repeating FUD, though. Maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't want to insult you live on the channel, but maybe you are repeating FUD. Did anyone see the 8 o'clock? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. It looked like a rooster. We were talking about it on Around the Blockchain. Apple VR launch tomorrow. Everdome is about to explode. Really interesting. Yeah. Send the same message 6 times. It's not interest, buddy. Send it to Marcelo, man. We love you, brother. How's your mom, Sammy? Hope she's good. Mode, wish you and your family well in this difficult time. Our prayers are with your family. We love you. Shout out to Crypto King Africa. Thank you for the love, man. Any news on Atomic Wallet hack? I mean, all I heard was to get your funds out of the Atomic Wallet as soon as humanly possible. I wouldn't go back to it again either. That's the news. Get off of it, and if you didn't get scammed, you're lucky. And keep yourself, again, I use hardware wallets, and again, you never know. My only use with MEXC as 3L tokens had like 1 million of them, and they reconsolidated. I don't know what that means, but yeah, you don't hold 3L and 3S tokens more than like a day or two, in my humble opinion, on any exchange, because they're ETFs. All right, that's what an ETF is. C3S. All right, so if you shorted core, like Ren 3L was up 24% today. FTT 3S shorting FTT token, right, up 16%, and that's kind of like that's what a 3L and 3S token will do for you. Make you a little gains on the low, right? And you have 5x ETFs and an electronically traded fund, right? So that's kind of how it works. They rebalance them because they're not the real token. They're derivatives of the token, right, through an electronically traded fund. So you got to be careful, all right? Is MetaMask safe? MetaMask is safe, I believe. I mean, I don't want to say anything. You never know. I always keep my funds spread around. I never put too much on one exchange. I'm never all in on one area. Even on stable coins, I diversify my stable coins, all right? So I do see a move back to the upside on the 15 minute. Someone asked me about the 1 hour or the 30. The 1 hour is getting oversold, and once that 15-minute catalyst booms up, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a big move to the upside. 30-minute also is looking for a push out of this falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time, and you have 2 wicks right there, which tell me there's some buy pressure, and you're right on this trend line, which also coincides with being with this previous resistance becomes new support area. Resistance, support. So you got some support, all right? You got a trend line to hold, and you got oversold stochastics on the 15 and the 30 and the 1. Yeah, it happened on KuCoin all the time. No worries. Cheers, lifer. Not one I use, but good to know how they hacked Atomic. I think I had an Atomic wallet a long time ago. I may have had funds on it that I haven't looked at in a long time. You never know. Shout out to all the beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I hope you make money this week. Shout out to Jonathan Amja. God bless you, brother. I hope you make money this week too as well, man. God bless you. It's the next Fed meeting going to drop interest rates, even if we look at the time frames. Well, what's going to happen here, right, is we're going to look at the Fed, the Fed rate. And they have a meeting on the 14th. Now, I'm going to tell you what's happening now on the back end of the markets right now. Right now, we're betting that the Fed will not raise interest rates 70% of people believe that we won't. And honestly, that's been pretty good. The CME Group watch tool, Fed watch tool, right? Which kind of bets on what's going to happen with the interest rate. In 9 days, 17 hours, 17 minutes, and 23 seconds, we will have an FOMC meeting, all right? And right now, there's about a 77% chance that we stay flat. Target rate in BPS, 5 to 5.25, right? So current. 70% say we stay current, all right? And we don't make any move. So that's what we're looking at right now. And I'll tell you why. Because once they made the debt ceiling idea, they're going to have to print so much money, it's ridiculous. Then they're going to have to fill the TGA. You're going to learn what the TGA is, all right? I'm going to school you to these things so you don't have to ask. It's the Treasury General Account, okay? The Treasury General Account program provides service that accept cash and check deposits, including foreign items from federal agencies. The TGA is the Treasury General Account. So we can say, what is the TGA, right? Now, what's going to happen is they sell bonds and the yield, right? Right now, the yield, you make more money if you hold the bond for 2 months than if you hold for 5 years. That's never happened. Usually you want the bond for long periods of time, but people don't trust being in long term. They want to be in short term. That's why when they talk about the yield curve being inverted, now you're getting a yield curve that's just opposite from what you generally see in these type of markets. So what's going to happen is the Fed's going to have to actually buy their own, they're going to have to buy their own T-bills because no one's going to want to buy T-bills in the long term. Some people will get in and out, but people aren't going to want to buy them. Even one of my mentors, someone I knew, said he was going to put a lot of money into T-bills, and I was going to write him a letter and tell him, I don't think that's a good idea. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But I personally would not put my money into T-bills right now. I would be buying more Bitcoin on the low. That's me, though. You know, I'm a Bitcoin, I've been figuring out and seeing what's happening due to, I said doo-doo, didn't I? But the idea is, a Beavis and Butthead moment there if you're from my generation. But the idea is this. The Fed's going to buy their own T-bills. And when they do that, they're going to have to be printing money. And they're going to be putting money back into their own wallets to try to keep the price. Dude, the dollar looks like it's going to have some trouble. With BRICS coming in and all the pain and anguish going on in the markets and the world markets, it just doesn't look amazing. I have to be honest for everybody. And I'm sorry, I love the US dollar. I love the United States. I want to see the United States prosper and be amazing. But that's why we shouldn't be selling our Bitcoin reserves. And honestly, the Fed's been selling their Bitcoin reserves Sunday night a lot recently. We've been noticing that. For whatever reason, they pick Sunday night. They try to hide inside the volatility, but we know what they're doing. So every time they sell, more people in the world buy it up. China buys it up. Russia buys it up. You have to remember, this is the whole world watching Bitcoin, and they're sick of being circumvented, or they're sick of not being able to circumvent the US dollar sanctions. So they're going to continue to buy Bitcoin, an unsanctioned asset that has no loyalty to any single territory or border. It's borderless, right? It can do whatever it wants. It can go wherever it wants. It can travel and transcend the world. So I still see a move for Bitcoin back to the upside here. We can look at the very small time frames to see if a flag is forming. Right now, the 5, if we look at this, we're kind of in this right here. It's a bit of a double top. That's an M right there too on the 5 minute, and the 5 minute wants to crush us to the downside. So we might get one more spillover to the downside here. We'll see what can happen, and then I still believe we could get a bear trap here and get a move back to the upside based on that oversold behavior on those smaller time frames. The 4 hour is still coming down, and I've been short this whole time, but they've been volatile. Like, if you've been short, you likely could have been kicked out. However, look, we talked about opening up a short with a stop loss either here or here. The safest place was the secondary place, right? Not to be right next to price action, and you still wouldn't have been stopped out right now. We talked about that right here. You would have been in the money. I talked about the little bull flag here that dropped all the way down there. We did get wicked back up. Bear flag, and we called that short to the downside. Then we whipsawed back up. I was unable to call that long because it was so fast. Then we had the cat ear pattern last night, drop down, but that's all we got. We didn't get much more lower. We bounced back up again, came down, and then the volatile move as the candle closed on Sunday night. So it's been actually out of control, the movement that we're seeing for Bitcoin. But what I do see is a move back to the upside out of this falling wedge as we battle this $27,000 region. I'm going to watch the 5 minute to see how bearish you can get. Right now, it is starting to drop right now. As I'm showing you, the stochastics are pointing to the downside. Who am I? If you're watching the channel and you've never heard of me and you don't know who I am and you're like, who is this guy? I'm the guy that bought Bitcoin at 19,000 in front of the world. I'm the guy that called the top of Bitcoin when it made a double top with weekly bearish divergence. I'm the guy that also called the bottom for Bitcoin here when everyone said that Grayscale was going to unlock and we were going to get this massive dump right here. If you were watching my channel, I pulled a Fibonacci. What I did is I found bullish divergence right here on the daily time frame. And I can teach you, I find simple ways to trade macro markets. So swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up here. And I was able to call this bottom, notoriously. I was able to get into Phantom at 18, 19 cents, ride it up to $3, turn 5,000 into 100 grand. I was able to find Cake at 60 cents, EGLD at $20 to $50, Cardano at 2 cents and 8 cents, and ride it all the way back up to $3.31. Those 4 coins alone. And then SafeMoon with the 100X. I mean, those 3 little moves alone turned 10 grand into well over $500,000. That's how you change your life. If you turn 10 grand into 500 grand and you didn't go party your life away, you didn't just, go crazy with it, you calm down, you still manage, you're still alive. Think about it. People don't realize it. It's stressful to make a lot of money off a little bit of money. And you'd be like, no, what do you mean? You have all the money though. But then you don't know what to do with it because you've never had money like that. And you need to calm yourself down. And some nights you won't be able to go to sleep. The adrenaline from the money coming in you won't sleep. And then you'll have lack of sleep. Then you'll get a little manic. Things will get kind of crazy. Making money is almost just as stressful as losing money. You got to get into position with it. And that's why I realized that money wasn't the answer to everything in my life. Once I got more money, once I changed my life, I realized that all the problems I had still were there. I still had to go to therapy. I still had to work through my emotions. I still had to figure out who I was and what my true intentions were with my life, right? Those questions don't get answered just because you got money. So if you're lost and you're still struggling and you think money's going to solve it all, it's definitely not. It may make things a little better. Your kid will go to private school, right? You may have an easier time getting a lady as a man just because women see you as more secure when you have more money. It's sad to say, but that's the facts. Even my own wife said I was more attractive when I became more wealthy, which is kind of sad. I mean, she always found me attractive, but then she's like, I can't replace you now. If I find a guy just as good looking as you and he's broke, she's like, it doesn't matter. But but these are the facts of life. Money will not change all your problems. It will not fix everything. So if you're chasing money, thinking all your issues and everything in your life is going to get just ironed on out and it's all going to be gravy, it's just one aspect of life. Are you working out every day? Are you taking care of yourself? Do you have a good relationship with God? And people be like, I don't believe in God, and it's like, so you don't believe that people were made by a beautiful being? We have all these organs that work beautifully in conjunction with each other. An orange, when you look inside of a lemon, it's actually like, it's like cut into triangles inside of a circle. We live in a geometrically created world. For me, when I look at fruit growing off of a tree and I can pick it and eat it, to me, that's like all right there. That's a miracle. Like when I see a baby take its first steps, when I watch my daughter today play the guitar and sing, all these things remind me that God does exist and there's a special being that has created each and every one of us, and we're on our way to greatness in this world. God does not want you to be broke. If you don't believe in God, the sad thing is you probably don't believe in the devil. It's hard not to believe in the, so then you think the devil doesn't exist because God doesn't exist. And I'm telling you right now, the devil does exist. The devil whispers sweet nothings in your ear. The devil tries to make things look appealing that aren't appealing. The devil wants to bring you down, 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 down. You ever hear that song? Down. And I'm telling you right now, the greatest trick that, the devil ever pulled was teaching you that he didn't exist, right? Kaiser Soze. That was the old movie we grew up on the day. So, hey, believe in God just so you can believe in the devil. I'm telling you right now, because it'll keep you. And people that believe in the devil, that when you go to do something wrong, that it doesn't feel correct. And there's bad karma coming from that, right? And whether you think God is just an energy force that we all live by, it doesn't have to be, it's not an old man in the sky with a beard. You know what I mean? Like kind of everyone believes. It's bigger than that, in my humble opinion. It's a life force. It's an energy force. It's some type of bigger being, and it could just be like a form of energy that we can't fully explain, right? Look at the volatility tonight. They wicked it all the way right down to 26.9 and brought it right back up to 27,000, faster than fast. I did see this M pattern, and that was the measured move of the M. Had you been quick and privy to quick, but honestly, trading for a Sunday night is only for the experts, like people that really know what they're doing. They're getting in and out with leverage. Like you could have traded this and had a stop loss, had to take profit somewhere in this area, and you would have made that money, right? You would have made that money, but that was an M pattern to the downside, and we saw that pretty quick, as fast as I could in the 5-minute time frame. Sunday night into Monday morning, Bitcoin gets absolutely volatile. I just have to make that clear and just keep saying it over and over and over again. All right? It's just what happens in the markets. We have this beautiful falling wedge now that really does want to break to the upside. When falling wedges break down, they break down nastily pretty fast. So your measured move would take you all the way back to 26,761, and then we would lose the bigger pattern that I've been holding and we've been talking about, which is the ascending triangle. So right now, I see a bit of a bear trap. They want to get people to think to short the market, rip it back up, probably take it back to the top of this channel. Again, there's no guarantees. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. All right? You'd be like, but you bought 19K and you swear that's the bottom. I'm telling you, by statistical analysis and not by my know and what I feel, that is your bottom for Bitcoin based on weekly bullish divergence. You just don't have it. It's happened like 3 or 4 times in Bitcoin's whole life. And that's actually one of the biggest bullish divergences I've ever seen Bitcoin have ever in the history of watching Bitcoin. So someone's got to eventually step out on a limb and call an actual bottom or a top. If every analyst just dances around, and my strategy says that that's going to be your bottom for Bitcoin. And I stick to it, and I bring it up all the time because I'm not embarrassed, I'm not scared, I'm not worried. And if we go lower, fine. People look at me, here's the guy that called the bottom and he was wrong. But then what I'll do is I'll buy 50 grand worth of Bitcoin at 10,000, and I'll be like, there you go. And you're like, well, there's the guy who ponied up and bought 5 Bitcoins, or maybe even more. You never know. But the point of the story is you gotta have guts, man. Scared money don't make money. And all the things that I teach you and that I talk about are based off heavy research and backtesting. Like when I see that bullish divergence, I look at bullish divergence in the weekly on multiple assets throughout the world, and it's just rare. You never really find it. It's not easy to find. And so when you see it and you don't long, that means you haven't studied markets for 20 years like me. I've been studying markets, 15 years, since I was 25, and I started trading when I was 22, 23, like a couple trades. I didn't know what I was doing though. I don't call those but that's when I got my feet wet. That's when I first got to this, you ever get to the ocean, you're about to jump in and you just put your feet in a little bit right at the sand. That's what it is, okay? That's what it is. So shout out to the 425 beautiful souls in the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Lost my voice when I went crazy Irish on the people for not hitting that like button earlier. And, I'm an impulsive guy. I'm definitely, I will just kind of say and do what I feel, and sometimes I get backlash for it. Sometimes it doesn't work out in my favor, but I'm never going to change. I knew that about myself a long time ago. So I just have to have damage control, say sorry when I have to, and move on, and I hope I don't offend too many people on my road. So there's the idea. There's a bit of a cup and handle there for Bitcoin. It's attempting to hold the zone, and that's why I look at smaller time frames. Smaller time frames can kind of show us what's going down, and I just see this as a falling wedge that wicked down and still trying to hold the zone. I do see kind of a shoulder head and a shoulder there, but there was the M pattern that broke down. And now the 1 hour actually wants to dump on us a little. The 1 minute wants to continue to dump on us a little bit. 1 minute's not done. Look at this. It's in like this little nasty little flag. And the 1 hour suggests that we may get a little more dumpage. I'd be very careful trying to long or short tonight. They move the price up and down really fast. It's when Asian markets open at 8 a.m. in the morning. We're 12 hours behind. So when Asia opens up, they start buying or selling, ripping the market one way. Then we're closing up shop on Sunday night. It creates heavy volatility. Volatility, if you're not sure what that means, it means a lot of this, up and down, up and down, up and down, really fast in small time frames. So it makes it very hard to trade. Like this falling wedge should break to the upside, will it? There's no guarantees, right? You're at my edge. For me, my edge personally is usually beaten down on Sunday nights because I don't have an edge when they swing on them. They're just going after whoever doesn't get what's happening. We also have lower volume as it's the summer months of May, as we're into June now. Summer months are just harder to trade. I found that out my own self. Doesn't mean we can't find gains. Like we just pulled 8% out of XRP. We pulled some other gains out of a few other coins too this weekend. But you got to be careful. You got to pay attention. You got to know what you're trading. Like right now, I'm using these low periods to load up on Caspa. I believe Caspa is going to be a big coin in the bull run, and I'm looking at AI coins with AI narratives. Right? I have my top 10 AI coins that I'm continuously adding a little bit into here and there, and that's going to change the game. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to look back on that portfolio and be super happy that I made it while everyone was super bearish and freaking out. You have to use the fear to your favor. If you're not using the fear, you're going to get left to the wayside. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. We're going to take a look here at the fear and greed index, which is up a little bit from last week at 52 back to 53, which is interesting, but it's still neutral. I'd like to see it get down in here. We would have to get to 25 or 24,000 for us to get into the shaded region. And maybe we stay in this area, but I would maybe a pump up here and then a nasty downtrend. I only like to buy Bitcoin in heavy lots. I always buy it every day, like a couple $100, $500, you know. But when I start buying 1,000 a day, 5,000 a day, you know, getting a quarter of the price, like if it's 25,000 and I'm buying 5,000, I'm buying 0.25 Bitcoin around. It's like 0.23. I want to buy it when we're in the shaded region. I want to make sure this number is at a 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere below 20 at the very least when I'm loading up. When I bought my $19,000 Bitcoin, we were heavy here. When I bought half a Bitcoin at 16,000, 16.8, we were right here. When I bought more Bitcoin at 17, right? We were heavy in the fear when I was gobbling up as much human Bitcoin as possible. So it's very simple to me. I'm going to give you my strategy and give it away right now, which is just nice enough. Not many people would do this. I wait for the stochastics and the RSI to both get low. This is Bitcoin all time. This is Bitcoin on Coinbase since it came out on Coinbase in December 2014. And even there, low, low, low. Look, when the RSI and the Stokes both get low, that's the load up zone, in my humble opinion. If I don't take advantage of this, and this, and I bought there. I bought a whole Bitcoin. I'll never forget it at about what, I think it was like 4,200. I bought a whole Bitcoin down here. All right. And I was buying Bitcoin when it first started coming out between $1,000 and $2,000 in this zone. So I bought that bottom. I bought that bottom. I bought that bottom. My biggest mistake was selling like 0.8 Bitcoin at 17,000 right around here because we were super oversold. But I learned my lesson and we got a rip to the upside, and I learned about anomalies in the stochastics and I realized where we were. That was my biggest mistake. To this day, I regret that. I had more Bitcoins than that. I only wanted to get rid of one just to try to see. And we were very oversold. It was telling me to get rid of it, and things just went out of control. So, and now I found some other ways to circumvent that, to figure out what's happening, right? And I go to smaller time frames, like the daily, and I'm looking for like this flag. That flag would have said that, hey, you have a measured move to the upside here from this flag. And that would have got me into the upper regions, all right? So I load up on Bitcoin when the fear and greed index is in the dotted, in that shaded area. And I'm telling you right now, when you're down in here and this stochastic is this low, you're in the MACD is also super low, that fear and greed index is going to coincide with being in the shaded area. It's that simple to buy Bitcoin on the low. It's not that hard. Just use a 2-week chart and the fear and greed index and a stochastics and an RSI. Like, it's like there you go. I just, you know. Oh, wait, no. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but I did it. I pulled the trigger. I even bought right here in front of the world a half a Bitcoin and watched it soar all the way up to 69,000, turned 15,000 bucks into almost 50 grand and did that, you know. So it is what it is. And I've done this stuff live. You can go back to this time frame, search through all my lives, and then find the live stream where I'm like, I'm calling long for Bitcoin here. It's all documented. Everything I've done is documented. It's out there for people to see. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no this and that. It is real. I'm the realest guy you've ever met on YouTube. I'm telling you right now. I've watched them all. I've never seen them put their money down. I've watched them. I've seen live trades and all that. But have they ever just said, hey, I'm parking my funds here. This is the bottom. I even called the bottom for the S&P. I did. And you can watch the video where I called the bottom for the S&P. This is awesome. Part 1 of 2 with Brian Rose and Michael Saylor. Gotta love that video, man. Gotta love that video. I got to interview Brian Rose at Consensus and meet him. And he hit me up on Telegram when I told him my dad passed away. He said, don't stop, man. It's time to he's like, it's actually time to pick up the pace. Isn't that funny? That's the advice he gave me. Not, take some time off. He said, it's time to go even harder. He said, it's time to go even harder. Right? And so that's the type of people I want to be around in my life. The pushers, the doers, the people that aren't afraid and want to get all the way to the upside and keep kicking it, keep pushing it. You know, I'm looking for that S&P bottom video, which I show you sometimes, but I called the bottom of the S&P back in October. All right. And there's a video of it if you want to watch it. As you can just see, man, I've called some serious macro moves for Bitcoin right here. Calling the bottom for the S&P. And I said, I'm going on a limb here.
I've been studying world markets for 20 years. I've been trading for 15 of those 20 years. I'm looking at gold, silver, financial markets. I'm looking at how the Federal Reserve actually works, how we trade bonds in the open market system. You may want to Google that.
And I've figured out so many different little intricacies in the markets. And I've taken a bunch of different charts and put them together. And I'm seeing some signs of the strong indicators in which I use and have put a lot of faith in over the last 10, 15 years in trading. And right now, I'm telling you, I am seeing a strong indication that the S&P is going to reverse to the upside. Why is that? Well, right, and that was right there in October of 2015. And if you want to go just take a gander at the ES1 here for the S&P and look at that, that was right there, right? October 22nd in the zone when I'm talking about the bottom right there. You can look at, where did I, yeah. See, I'm showing you this divergence here and showing you that that's your divergence. And that was the divergence right there that I'm showing you right here, right there. And the S&P would eventually skyrocket to the upside. October 17th, 18th, and 19th really was a beautiful place to start loading up on tech stocks. And ever since then, this thing is blasted to the upside. And now saying, I don't care what you trade, I don't care what you're doing, there's something called bullish divergence. You rarely see it on the weekly chart. And here we see it again on the weekly here. Swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. I'm a simple man. I trade simple things on big time frames. This stochastics RSI, whenever we've been low here, look, we got a nice bounce. Here we got a little bounce. There was no bullish divergence when these bounces occurred. I just want to make that clear, all right? Here we had a huge bounce here. Slight bullish divergence there at that point in time for the S&P. Here, not really. Here, there is the last time the S&P had severe bullish divergence like we have it now. Swing down and swing down on the weekly and swing up to swing up. The last time we had it was in 2016. So we haven't seen a substantial divergence just like this is now looking just like that since 2016. I'm making a bold statement here for anyone watching this and anyone that's invested in any market throughout the world. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But I am calling a reversal in world markets. Who else did that? Like, who else put their whole entire name on the line, their YouTube channel on the line, their entire cojones, their guts on the line? I just want to see it. Like, show me the guy that didn't say, well, maybe if we drop this level and then we'll go to here and there. All the analysts dance around. I'm showing you exactly what I'm saying. I'm sticking to it. And that reversal was stone cold. Stone cold. All right? Like, stone cold reversal. And this is the reversal right there. The swing down, the swing up. That was the exact bottom of the S&P back in October. You can see the dated video. And again, I mean, this guy's tooting his own horn. I'm trying to just show you that whoever you watch on YouTube, whatever you're doing, I'm trying to let you know that I don't BS you. I put my money where my mouth is. I go hard. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Look at this. I mean, we have a swing down here now because I don't use the wicks, and we have a swing up here. And I'm telling you that I wouldn't be surprised if we get this reversal back to the upside. This would be an interesting trade right here. And it's to trade on Sunday night, though, one of my rules is to not trade on Sunday night. It's just one of my main rules. It usually ends up bad. Even if the direction that I choose ends up going. So, like, I'm usually correct in the direction, right? But what they'll do, they'll bring it up, they'll bring it down, they'll bring it up, they'll bring it down. And then, like, once they get rid of everyone and chew them all up, then they'll bring the price to where it should go. And so I found like I've been right and still gotten plastered by the market maker. And it's highly more likely that, usually my predictions can plan out, but it's highly more likely that they're going to try to stop you in or out based on what's happening. So I'm always careful of that idea, all right? And I'm always wary of it too. So just be careful. That's all I got to say. And it's Sunday night. And I don't like to tell you that it's hard. It's not to trade on Sunday night. I wish I could tell you to trade every night of the week and do whatever you want. I get more commissions. MEXC would be better. But it's not about my money and me. It's about showing you the realness. I want to be known as a real person 10, 20, 30 years from now. I want to be like John Bollinger, right? I want to have that faith and that trust. And that's worth way more than a couple bucks from an exchange commission because I'm forcing you to open up trades. So I want you to understand that I'm here to show you things that I'm watching in the markets that I've spent years doing my life on. And if you can get some benefit from it, so be it. So be it. All right? So be it. So I see a reversal for Bitcoin on the smaller time frames. But again, we're going to have to battle. We're going to have to break out of this rising wedge. Now we have a heavy resistance for Bitcoin at 27,122. We got to get back above the zone. And I've been bearish ever since we can't get back above 27,350. If we can't get back above there, right? However, I'm bullish on the bigger time frames. This is all minutia to me. The weekly still says we're a go, right? And so the catalyst, right? I said this could pump the markets. I'm talking about the fact that they're changing their story here on the CME. 77% chance that we stay flat and we don't go to 5.2 to 5.5 and we go up a 0.25 basis points. See, that's 0.25 basis points. This was flipped just recently the other way around, and we watch this all the time. You know, this is something we've been looking at over and over and over again. So, and we'll be here June 14th for the next rate hike. You know, here they're already trying to bet on this one. So right now there's a 54% chance that they try to go up in July, right? So we'll see what happens in July, but that will change once we get through our first month. You know what I mean? I don't really prorate this stuff. You know what I mean? I figure there's no reason to do that. So we wait for that first one, then we focus on the next one. So the next one will be July 26th. Then we'll talk in September 20th. All right. So we're getting closer to my jury duty date on the 28th of June, which is like so crazy for me. All right. So that's what I see happening for Bitcoin. I'd be very, very careful trading. I wouldn't go overboard. I wouldn't go crazy. I'd be very, very careful watching Bitcoin tonight into Sunday. I don't like to post too many trades in my trading group Sunday night into Monday morning. And again, once we get into a bull run, every night's great. Like, we'll take it all, right? But when we're in this chop and Bitcoin's figuring out where it's going to go, I take it easy. I take it easy over here, huh? Let's see what's happening in the markets. CARE is up a little bit there. We got to move here. And the S&P getting a little overbought on the weekly time frame, but I've seen big moves come out of that. Let's look at our daily. Our daily's a little high too, right at this resistance point. All right, let's take a look at our 4-hour time frame, also at resistance. Looks like the week, we may have a little bit of trouble on the week. You know, they're going to spread some FUD in the markets. They're going to get people to think that it's going to be all bad and doom and gloom, and a lot of people are going to listen to it, and they're going to get their emotions moved around, and they're going to trade with their emotions, and then they're going to use them, and then they're also going to make like some false moves. So this 4-hour suggests that we will come back down though tomorrow morning and into Tuesday. By Wednesday, we should have reset, be on our way for tightness, and then we can continue our move on out of here. You're in a symmetrical triangle for the ES1 too, which is similar. You're in the same pattern as you're on for Bitcoin. They're not the same pattern. Like, this pattern's way longer. Like, they're not like, you know, when this, like, they're not actually in the same pattern time-wise, but they are in the same pattern. They're both in what's called an ascending triangle, right? And this ascending triangle, if we can get bullish, man, this can get a pretty big move to the upside. The interesting thing is, even though we're not as correlated as we used to be, I want to make that clear. As Bitcoin pumped from 16,000 all the way to 31, the S&P did not go from 35 to 7,000, right? The Bitcoin doubled, but the S&P only went from 36 all the way up to 42. But we broke back above that heavy resistance area. And look at this channel that we made. When we came down to this channel, it was so sketch. We bounced off of it to the upside, and things look good. One other thing that I want to talk about for Bitcoin. I do see a reversal tonight, though, at one point back to the top of the channel here at 27,446. That's just that's what the chart conveys. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen. I'm just looking at what the chart conveys. One thing we could look at here is on the daily time frame. All right. And I had two scenarios. One is that was a bearish top right there, like basically a bear trap, a bull trap. Tried to make us think we were breaking out of something crazy and brought us right back down in a whipsaw. We came up. Now we retested the top of this trend line and we bounced. That's another cool thing. So we could say, you know what? And what I like about this is it gives me a parameter, meaning if we don't get back inside, if we fall back inside the pattern, then there's a chance we could drop. If we don't ever go back below this trend line and we hold here, back to the upside for Bitcoin. What I like on the daily is this, like what I'm going to show you is you have your high, you have your low. You have your lower high, you have your lower low. Then you have lower highs, lower low. Higher high, higher low. That's the beginning of a new trend. And I'm telling you right now, buying the first higher high in an uptrend out of a falling wedge is usually a really, really good move. So that gets me bullish for Bitcoin. You know, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's kind of what it makes me sound like. I'm cuckoo for Bitcoin Puffs, right? And then at the end of the day, we're also in this kind of falling wedge here too. So we could come back down one more time. We could easily retest 26.5, 26.4, right? We could even wick a little bit in, but I don't want to see a daily candle closing back inside this in this box. And so the danger zone, I'll show you the danger zone right now. We don't want to see Bitcoin in this danger zone. We want to see Bitcoin stay out of this triangle. As long as we can stay out of this triangle, we can get a pretty big move to the upside. The daily's starting to wing it and show signs of lack of bear pressure. The 22 hours getting flat and showing, hey, it could start making a move too. So, and what I finally saw, all right, which I'll also show you, was this idea. This is a symmetrical triangle right here, like so. See this? Symmetrical triangle right there on the 4-hour time frame. You're getting tighter and tighter in a chubby triangle. Okay? That does have a 50-50 pattern with the length of the base of the triangle. So you're either breaking up or you're breaking to the downside. What will happen is first you'll come down, then you'll breach into this little triangle area, and then we can start talking bullishly. So I like my parameters right now. I like where we're sitting. And what's our measured moves here? In case you wanted a short or long, we're looking at 29,500. And again, we got to break the high at 28,004, and we got to break this horrible region at 27,000. First thing for me is 27,350, but it's also this wick here, 27,598. That's a wick, but we got to break back above this zone before anything can occur. So you're all set right now. You know where Bitcoin's going to go. You're going to watch it. If it starts to drop down in here and hang out in here, you may have a short on your hands to the downside. If it stays up here and doesn't go back inside this channel, you're looking pretty good. And then you know that the weekly chart, like I talked about, is holding above the 200 SMA. And as long as we stay above the 200 SMA, which is this yellow line on the weekly chart, we're also good to go. So I hope I've kind of rested your soul at ease. I hope you've taken a deep breath. I hope you're calm right now and you understand what's happening. What also I like here is this is kind of a drunken, inverted head and shoulder that could get us a nice move to the upside, possibly break this high and get the move to the upside. So we're just waiting for this 4-hour to kind of eventually get the curve back on in, right? And so that's kind of another thing that I'm looking at for Bitcoin, all right? And just expect volatility tonight. There's nothing else I can say. Expect volatility tonight. It's going to be an up and down ride. It's going to be a rocky road. If you have not spoken on Filecoin, GALA or would love to hear what you have to say where my lack of patience has taken me. Interesting. Shout out to ML. God bless you, brother. I feel like SHIB is like Mullen Automotive. Funny. Stack. Bobaki. Stacky Bobaki. Gina Bobina. Lemon in my sweet tea. Amen. Amen. But don't put too much sugar in that sweet tea. I shorted 0.569 right at the top. 154X for XRP, I'm guessing. That's what he's saying, yeah. What's your take on Alex B20? I think it's hot. It's gonna take some time to develop. But that's definitely something I would DCA into over time. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, you know, it makes you happy. But I'd DCA into that, start to build a bag, because once those ordinals start to pop, there's just not going to be a lot of space, and there's going to be some big movement. So I'd watch the ordinals. I also got CryptoLifer.sats, CryptoLifer.btc, the CryptoLifer.stats, and the CryptoLifer.btc. I got the ordinals flowing, and I'm ready to go. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I even have Hero sunglasses. They're upstairs. I'll wear them tomorrow on my live stream. I got them at Consensus. But I got Hero Wallet. Hero was out there giving sunglasses away. I got my Hero Wallet sunglasses. They say Hero on the side. It's pretty cool, you know. So at the end of the day, inverted head and shoulder inside the symmetrical. But again, anything is possible. Let's keep it open-minded. So, hey, I believe I have you right where you need to be here for Bitcoin. And I'm back tomorrow at 10 a.m. So, and then I do an update in my trading group at 7 a.m. So I never leave you hanging. And, will Alex always be slow? You think? No, I think they're going to implement that Lightning Network. It's going to start moving better. They'll implement some type of, there'll be something very similar to ZK Sync, but it'll be on the Bitcoin network. It'll be very interesting. So I'm excited for that too. You should also be excited for that. So the wedge technically broke to the upside. You could say the other parameter, I guess like there, you could say we're at the top, but we've made this higher low as well. All right. And then you could, you know, but what I like about this is it kind of psychologically sets you up to have to deal with the parameters if you break this line. Right. So. All right, and so that's Bitcoin in a bit of a nutshell. I don't really need to talk about it again for the rest of the night. Unless we see something crazy happen, I will jump back in. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see the liquidity on the night. Where's it going? And they're definitely trying to drain us lower, but there's a lot of buy pressure here at 26,800. And right now they're liquidating the longs right now. People that decided they just couldn't help themselves and traded on Sunday night. If you're trading Sunday night, the odds that you lose your trades are so high. So that's why I just leave it alone. You know how many nights I've watched this happen and I watch people just get wrecked and messed up, you know? So there you go, you know, bang, bang, bang. So there's the 26,800, you know what I mean? So one other thing that we could discuss, what Steve talks about, you know, what Steve taught me from Crypto Crew University, and that, or, you know, I've been using Gaussian channels, but I watched with him, we did the 8-day Gaussian channel, right? And I like this, what Steve did. And so we'll go to BTC, like USD, all-time history index, and we'll go to my Gaussian channel settings here. The Gaussian, and we'll talk about that 8-day Gaussian. And you can see, like, we usually, once we get through the red, we usually get through the middle line, and then we start some type of massive run. And it's happened every year in Bitcoin's life cycle. Like, we have the dip, we come back into the dip, we get above the middle line, then we get out of the channel, and then we're gone. And when this turns to red, we usually have bottomed by that point. And I had the 800-day moving average crossing the 50, and that coincided with the same thing Steve was saying when the green turned to red, right? Shout out to Crypto Crew University for showing this out, and I'm just, you know, I'm rehashing it, so I'm not trying to say, but I ended up calling this bottom with the bullish divergence, you know what I mean? This came back up, though, and we're playing with this middle line. Now, we are playing with the middle line a little longer than before, but they don't want to give away their cards too fast. Once we get above this little line, if we get the move, we're going to end up on the other side of the Gaussian channel, and I'm telling you right now, right, in December 2024, right, after the halving in May, we start to get our move up to the upside. And this makes sense. We could go sideways or chop, not do too much, or stay below 37 to 30K. We could just chop for 6 months, and then that halving is going to procreate us. We're going to break that all-time high. We'll probably come retest it. And then I'm talking $100,000 Bitcoin, I believe, is likely on the cards for 2025. And we're going to see a massive move in the altcoins. And the same cycle will repeat itself. So, Steve, it's a pretty name. You're so funny. Apparently, the 5-day Gaussian channel has never had a failed signal either. Yeah, and look at this. Look at the 5-day Gaussian. So come here for all the TA all over the universe, everywhere. But look at the 5-day Gaussian. We got through the Gaussian channel. We got to the other side. We were gone, baby, gone. All right, and I'll go all the way back to 2012 for you. We got above the Gaussian channel, and we were gone, baby, gone. I wonder if it even happened at the very beginning of Bitcoin's life cycle. I believe the channel is just too small. We won't even be able to see it. Yeah, it's not there. It's not. It didn't happen. But right there, that was your bottom. And once you got out, that was like the end of the lows of the bear market, 2012. We did the same thing here in 2015, 3 years later. So then you're expecting 2018 or 19, right? We got back above. They faked us out. That was a pandemic, shoulder, head, and shoulder. I believe, you know, that was a crazy run. But once we got back above it again, so there was one false signal there, but we still got a massive move with it. We retraced. That to me, that was an anomaly. I think we would have stayed above the channel, or at least in the zone. And then right here, we've gotten back through the Gaussian channel yet again, and we're on the other side. And like my man just said, never been a bearish signal. And the 5 days getting oversold. Whenever the 5 days been this low, let's count all the times the 5-day got below the dotted line. Right here, we still got a pump. Fine, we came lower. So there's like an iffy signal, but there was definitely your bottom right there on the 5-day Gaussian, right? There was a false signal came back down, but then eventually we did call the bottom with this 5-day Gaussian channel. What I am showing you is all the bottoms we ever had did coincide with the 5-day stochastics being lower below the dotted line. Look at last time the 5-day was below the dotted line. I called the absolute bottom for Bitcoin right there. Massive move, right? And so now when you're in a downtrend, you're in a downtrend. But we have an uptrend right now, clear as day. You broke the previous highs. You went low, you went high, higher low, higher high, higher low. On the daily, multiple candles closed. To me, this is a very bullish sign that big moves are happening for Bitcoin. And because they have everyone scared. Everyone's saying we're going down to the downside. Everyone's screaming we're going to dump. I love that. That's when I eat it up, baby. I live in risk. You know what I mean? I come from the Irish, man. I come from people who live in risk. All right? My dad lived in risk. My dad, every job he did was high risk. You know what? And I watched him do that. And so I chose high risk scenarios to survive in. Being on YouTube is high risk. If you don't coincide or say the right thing, you never know, right? I'm not going to even say it because I'm like, ooh. But, it's high risk being on YouTube. I'm telling you right now. Most people would never do it. 1 out of a million people would put themselves through what I did and show up every single day and live stream for 800 days. Like, that's just insane. Most people would never do what I did to build this channel. I'm telling you right now, like I can, work 7 days a week. Living is high risk. I like that. But some people live and then even think they're not in high risk living, right? And they still try to play that little game. But I like what you said. Living is high risk, right? Everyone here on this channel is going to die. Everyone here on this channel is going to die. Let the FUD be FUD. Us lifers take advantage of the weak. Shout out to Crypto Bellico. Amen. Some people say you need tolerance for risk to trade. I think you need an appetite for it. Amen. Amen. Yeah, you need to want it. You need to want that risk. Like, I love living in risk. And again, I've been beat down, and it's not always gravy, right? I go with the ups and downs of the market. I battle through every single day. It's not been perfect. It's not like, I wake up on easy street every single day. But we persevere no matter what. This 5-day channel looks great. If we can get back above the 200 SMA, we'll be good to go, right? The daily's well above the 200 SMA. All right. And look at when the moving averages get close and tight, it tells me a big move is coming, and we're in an uptrend. So we're in an uptrend with tight moving averages. It tells me something big is brewing for Bitcoin. All right. So let's take a look at Filecoin and see what's happening with Filecoin here. Sorry. I'm at a wedding. I'm an old man at a wedding. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're hanging out. Hope you're getting relaxed. Hope you're getting into the zone with the lifer. God bless each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset. And that is your time. So Filecoin, shoulder, head, right shoulder. To me, it's a giant inverted head and shoulder. And everything that basically depends on Bitcoin getting that pump to the upside. I do see the daily wanted to come down a little bit. I look at my 3-day chart. My 3 days kind of my go-to. It has momentum, but it could have better. It does have a hanging 200 SMA. I wouldn't be surprised if the Filecoin decided to pump up to this 200 SMA and meet it for maybe 100, 150, somewhere between 100 and 200% gains. I know that's a variation range, but this is going to move while this moves, and we're going to see where it all happens. But a lot of times when the moving averages get tight like this, you pump up to the 200 SMA. I've seen it many, many times in my life. So I wouldn't be surprised if Filecoin got that move to the upside. All right, just something to think about, something to talk about. You also got this Sammy cup and handy on Filecoin, as it's kind of a jagged cup right there. And then you got your handle that could blast us to the upside. I also see the shoulder, the head. I like drawing it out. I got that shoulder, head, and right shoulder. That also breaks you to the upside. We get above this point of control, we bounce, we're gone at 566. So Filecoin, and where does that measured move take us? I mean, you got resistance at 875. Be a great place to take some profit on a swing trade if that's all you were looking for. But there's a chance we go more and we somehow meet this line somewhere in the zone. And remember, once we get above this region, there's really a nice gap. That's a gap right there that could gap us up on the VRVP, right? Not sure why that's so... trying to see what the VRVP gives us down here. Yeah, see, there's the gap there too. That will take you to the next resistance point. And then if you can grab that gap and get above that gap, let's look at our 22. Our 22 is getting oversold too, and that's a good indication. And it's going to follow Bitcoin. It's trying to make that higher low just like Bitcoin did, right? So Filecoin looks interesting to me for at least a pump to 869. And then there's a chance, look, we could gap all the way back up to 16 pretty fast. That'd be a 4x for Filecoin, faster than people realized. It also started the bigger rounded bottom, and rounded bottoms pay the bills. Like, these bigger rounded bottoms are where price action starts to really consolidate. We might come up, make another flag here, cup and handle back to the upside. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen to market structure, but what I am saying is I do see some bullishness for Filecoin, and I could see us getting back to 875. We might come back down and bounce first at 351 before we continue up on the macro scale. You know, I'm not, and I can't guarantee anything. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I'm just showing you what I see. I'm just showing you what I see. I'm seeing that larger target too, Sammy. Shout out to Crypto Clown World. God bless you. Could you look at link, please? Send in a super chat, TA or deep dive, man. We do super chats here on this channel. We usually did get 100 to 200 bucks every night. Now it's like 25 bucks in this bear market. But as you can see, that was just a gimme. I was so lucky that was happening, and that was just an added benefit to the lifestyle, to the channel. I talked about Moonwell being in this giant cup and handle. It still is in the giant cup and handle. This is a low cap gem, though, that you can't really depend on as much as like Filecoin or a bigger coin. But, you know, it's retraced pretty nicely. It has its first higher low. We traded Moonwell very nicely up there and very nicely up there. So a couple times Every time I put it out, it's actually done really well. It's very oversold in the 22-hour. I would expect some type of bounce for Moonwell, but it all depends on Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin kind of takes the scene too, I'd watch out for very little tiny altcoins, all right? Where is Rantintin? I don't know what that is. Shout out to you, brother. Where is Rantintin? GTC looks like a good buy at the lows. Thanks, love you, brother. My TA was nowhere near as smooth, but feel much better about my 4.64 entry. We may go lower to 351, though. I don't want you to think that that can't happen. But that looks like technically going to be our bottom at 350 if we do revisit that zone. And look, they bounced us right back to the upside, as I was suggesting, after they liquidated the longs, 90,000, 270,000. So people that just long too early got absolutely bent out of shape here. And they will go back. If too many people long again, they just turn right back around and grab them up again. That's what they do Sunday night. And Monday's false move Monday. Remember, Monday is a tough day to trade every single day of the week. All right. Someone asked about 3 coins and one idea, GALA and Optimism. I usually don't like people tripling up, but I'll take a look at Optimism for you here. You guys have been asking about Optimism, and it finally has this bullish divergence on the 22-hour time frame, which suggests that we could make our first higher low if we can break it up. So we got to come up here, make a high higher than this high. So we want to see Optimism break above 189. Then I wouldn't jump in yet. I'd wait for it to come back down and make that first higher low somewhere in the 618 Fibonacci region. Right now, it is holding the 706 Fibonacci, which is a beautiful place, and we have this going for us. So what I also look for, I look for confluence. I look for support or resistance, and then I do a check. We have resistance, we have resistance, we have support. That's an SR flip right off the bat. If you just trade support and resistance, that's a go-go. I like that. Then I trade Fibonacci, and I see we're at the 706 Fibonacci level, right? Really close to it, right on that mode. That's also a good sign, all right? That's another checklist. Then I see that we're in this kind of channel, up, down, up, down, up. We could even come back down for the double bottom, but I do see some type of move back to the top of the channel based on pattern trading. That's my third idea, right? And I begin to build, all right? Then I look at the divergence, and there's a bullish divergence there. That's my fourth idea, all right? I don't like how high the stochastics are on the 22-hour time frame. The daily still has legs to go up, so I'm just looking for that push up on the daily. Then it probably comes back down, makes the higher low, and that first higher low, boom, boom, is going to be a great entry point for a move to the upside for Optimism, in my humble opinion. This is something that I wouldn't try to swing trade too much. It doesn't tend to move too well, swing trading. We had a little bit of moves there. This is something I would dollar cost average into and hold to the bull market. It's going to be well over a few $1 billion market cap or more. It's going to continue to grow. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum. I see big things happening to the upside. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. If you want to jump on in and become a member, we're going to have member streams. You have access to emojis that other people don't have. And it's going to be exciting. So that's what you see, people that have all this cool little green writing with a star next to their name. They are members of the trading group, or not of the trading group, but of the actual YouTube channel. All right. And now look, they liquidated the short right there. And that's what I expect on Sunday night into Monday morning. The liquidation's happening all over the place. This is BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP helps you figure out where price action is going to go. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to the $26 in chat revenue. You people are absolutely amazing. May God bless each and every one of you for everything that I get on any time I go live. I really, really appreciate it. I can't even believe I'm live right now. Is this really happening? Do I really go live 7 days a week? Like, it's a dream. My dad used to say to me, I've never seen someone work as hard as you. He said, he was worried about my health for how hard I worked. He really was. He was like, you ever take a moment to breathe? He was always like, geez. But he didn't want to put me down, so he was nice about it. He was like, Sam, I mean, you work like, he's like, I've never seen someone work like that. And I was like, well, Dad, like, I want the best. I want the best. I want an amazing life. I want to help as many people as possible. Join the trading group and MEXC if you'd like to. Both of these links are the links that help me out the absolute most. So if you hit click that. I'd love you to join the trading group. That's my number one. But we also like to trade on MEXC. So if you're going to trade somewhere, you might as well use my link. These links will be right here. I will pin this in the comment section on the live comment, so you can always just grab whatever one you want and jump on in today if it makes something. Hey, if you would have made 8% on XRP, easy peasy. Actually, nothing's easy. I don't like using that word at all. I don't like using the word easy money. I don't like saying something's easy. My dad couldn't stand it. He used to look at me and said, if someone telling you it's easy, get away from them. That was one of the number ones he said to me over and over again. If he goes, someone tells you it's easy, he said, get away from them immediately. He goes, nothing's easy. He's like, making a peanut butter jelly sandwich ain't easy. You got to put right on a peanut butter, right? To him, nothing was easy. And if you go by that idea, then you put detail into everything you do. And he came from hard-working Irish bricklaying. And, you know, his father was a bricklayer, right? Worked 7 days a week. He had a way harder upbringing than me. You know, my dad was hard on me, but nowhere, you know. I believe BOOKMAP is $50 a month if you want to jump on into Global Plus, and depending on the parameters that you want to add. And look, it's showing me the actual liquidations going down, you know, which is pretty cool too. You can use Link, and you can see some other perp too. You got Doge perp. Doge has got like just orders all over it though, and it's kind of trapped in its own sauce. Someone said Doge might be a good trade. We'll take a look at that in a second. God bless you. I am reading through those comments. Sorry for breaking protocol on multiple coins at once, Lifer. Here's a few more bucks for adjusting on the fly. Nothing but love. ML, man, no worries, man. I love you, man. I shouldn't have said that. I was being harsh. God bless you, brother. Thank you for all the love, man. If possible, would you look at Cosmos as well? Thanks. Atom is a trade that I like, and I put it out to the trading group already, something on my mind, and when I made it a bigger idea. It's in this cup and handle. It's inside a symmetrical triangle. It's got falling volume with falling price, which tells me a bigger move is coming. The daily's kind of struggling on the stochastics, but it is showing signs of just getting scrambled. It gets above this point of control. It can start to get the rip, and I can see Atom back at 18 cents if Bitcoin can play ball. But Bitcoin's got to play ball, all right? Bitcoin's got to play ball. Let's take a look at our baby Doge chain. Not Doge chain, actually. That's a real coin. Funny now. I was just kind of Doge coin, I should say, on KuCoin. So I've been watching Doge in this giant cup and handle too, which I've seen these type of cup and handles play out to the upside. The 3-day chart is my go-to chart. That's my I love trading the 3-day. Not many people do it, so they don't stop a lot of people out on it because not many people are trading the 3-day chart. You're with the bigger money, the bigger boys, people are looking out for bigger things. You also got this triple bottom on Doge, don't you? Right? And you actually got a bit of a shoulder. You got a head and you got a right shoulder. You got an inverted head and shoulder for Doge. You got 1, 2, 3 triple bottom, and you're pointing up on the 3-day chart for a move to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if at least we pump up to what? The 200 SMA. Remember, that becomes a magnet when you're tight of the moving averages. You get above this point of control, and you can also gap all the way up here to about 14. So I wouldn't be surprised if Doge did some double movement here. Maybe something happens. Maybe something goes on. They hit Elon with insider trading over the Doge logo. They're so corny, man. These people are the corniest people on earth, I swear. Like, they want to have jurisdiction over everything, even if they can't have it. But at least the bill didn't get passed to tax 30% on miners and all that. That was just a bunch of nonsense. Like, oh, they're going to be rich, so take all their money. You know, it's insane. Most of the people that got rich in crypto, we earned so much of it, and we fought so hard. I went over Moonwell already, so Link and GALA will be the next two. God bless you. And we did Doge. We did Atom. Oh, so I got to do Chainlink, and I got to do GALA. We're doing really well here on the Super Chats. 9:35. I don't know how time flies like this. I don't know how I've been live since, the 10-minute intro, but it's still been an hour and 25 minutes. How I've been live for an hour and 25 minutes? I yelled in Irish and screamed for the likes because I went out of my mind. I'm insane. It is what it is, and I admit it. I don't mind. I'm insane. I'm crazy. Don't mess with me in a dark alley. I will rip your eyeballs out, and I'll eat them like hors d'oeuvres. No, I won't. I'm just joking. I'm the nicest guy in the world. Just don't call my wife a name. Don't give me whiskey and Guinness. All right, that's why I stopped drinking completely. Serious. One day I woke up in Central Bookings in New York, had no idea what I did to get in there. I was like, what did I do? I was like, I gotta stop drinking. Feel like we just got here. Shout out to GF Burke, man. I need my eyes to read the charts live. Salam alaikum, Imad Hassan, man. I love you, brother. Nah, I'm just messing around. Smash the like for the hardest working TA in the game. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker. God bless you, man. No one does more coins than we do on a weekly basis. No one does more coins we do on a daily basis. No one covers more technical analysis than the lifer. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. So the 3-day chart looks amazing with this inverted head and shoulder. We do have to break above this resistance. We're in a range. Doge has been in a range from 10 cents to 7 cents, to 10 cents to 7 cents, to 10 cents to 7 cents. Likely it's going back to 10 cents. Pretty simple way to trade, right? So, can you show us how to measure Fibonacci charting? Well, there's many different ways to do it. But what you want to do is just take your bottom to your top, hit Alt-F, and just drag it from one to the next and see that you come back down. Now, you can also trade it the other way. If you're looking for a short, you can go from the bottom to the top, and you can look for the 618 that way. You come back up to the 618 or the 786, it's a good place to short the market back down. I'll look at a bigger chart to show you. The best place to show you is Caspa, and I'll break it down in a second. Can you look at the SHIB chart, please? Thank you. Shout out to Hustle with Joe Peso. Shout out to Joe Peso in the house. God bless you, brother. Thank you for jumping on in again. I see your name now. I appreciate the lifer. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you for that super chat. May God bless you for jumping on in again. $35 in chat revenue. 370 people on the live. And I'm not used to, even my Sunday night stream used to have 500 to 600 people on it. Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Is the algorithm not working for us? Did they not want crypto to get popular enough? Or do people just get bored of cryptocurrency and think there's just no way you can make money on it? Kaz and Quant. I would take all my money. If I was in Quant right now, I would sell every penny of it and I would buy Kaz with it. I would not touch Quant with a 10-foot pole. At best, it does a 20x. At best. You know what I mean? At best. The finals are on. Oh, that's true, too. I'm fighting the finals right now. No, aren't they on? Oh, yeah, they are. You're right. Yep. Jokic, man. That dude's no joke, bro. And Jimmy Butler. Stack, you better be watching those finals with your MA. You better get off the live stream, Stack. You better go watch your Miami Heat right now. Or you're not a real Heat fan. Stack, you got the game on in the back end? Tell me you got both on right now. Just be honest. I can take it. I can handle it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you say you're just watching the lifer and you're in the charts because you're an OG. But let me know. I'm waiting for your response, Stack. Are you watching the Heat? Like, do you have one screen with the Heat on? And you got one screen, you know, you're shadow banned. You never pop up on the algorithm anymore. Have to search your name. Hey, that's a good thing. That means I'm not a stick in the mud. Yes. Being shadow banned is the greatest thing on earth. I don't even think it's possible, but if it was, it would be the greatest thing on earth. It would be the biggest compliment I ever had in my life, right? Because they only shadow ban people that are willing to break, like that means you're on your way for big things in your life. Like, no one who's a lame-o gets shadow banned. I do have both on. Amen. You know what I mean? Like, if you're if you're a stick in the mud and you just do like regular whatevers, like, no one's gonna care. But if you're big and you're changing the world, anything could happen. You know what I mean? Thanks for all you do. Shout out to Crypto Alex. Shout out to Jeffrey Anderson. Shout out to J Mart. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker. Gina Bombina in the house. I love you all. You got to make a positive out of every negative in the world, no matter what happens in your life. Let's take a look at GALA. GALA. Now, GALA went to V2. Did KuCoin respect the V2? That's one thing I haven't asked anybody in a while because I'm afraid to ask because I'm supposed to know everything. Sometimes I don't. All right. Sometimes I know as much as I should, but not everything. All right. If that makes sense. Look, see how the 200 is outlying right there? I wouldn't be surprised if we did bounce to it. I don't like how high the 2-day is, though, for GALA. It's at the bottom of its barrel. I believe this is going to be an amazing coin. They're going to continue to move. They're GALA games, baby. I love that they're bringing it this low. It's just so easy to scoop up some GALA. And you guys have me salivating right now. I'm going to go to spot. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to accumulate. And why is this white? Usually it's dark. I'm so sorry. So sorry. You know what I mean? Vampire mode. But see that 325 about that 4K? Because sadly enough, I did make money this month, and I have to hold some back for taxes. As sad as it is. You could go all in, and then what happens if you make a mistake? Then you got nothing. And then you still owe the taxes. So I take a little bit of my gains, and I put them away. And I put them away. As hard as it is for me to do, because I just want to use all that money all the time, it's tough. And again, I'm just telling you what I do. You do whatever makes you happy, but I put a little away for the man. Because the man's going to come and knock on that door, and I'm going to be ready to pay. You know what I mean? So just something to think about. I don't even mention that a lot, but it is what it is. So, and it pains me. I want to put all my money into the market, then sell at the end of the year, right? No, I harvest losses, but this year I'm going to be up. I'm pretty sure. I do harvest losses, but this year I'm pretty sure I'm going to be up pretty nicely. So, you know what I mean? If I put it all in and I make money, you have to remember I make income too. So there's income coming in. Like, people pay for the trading group in cryptocurrency too. So even if I harvest losses all the way, like, there's, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So 02939 right there, right, for GALA games. I believe this is a low point for GALA. I like what I'm looking at here. I just click on this, slap this to that 325. I'll do 324. But there's no fees. It really should be clean. And I buy some more GALA right now and just continue to buy. I do that 10 times. That's $3,000 worth of GALA. GALA does a 30x. You're talking turning $3,000 into $90,000. And all you'd had to do was buy $300 10 times on the low. Like, I tell people, man, this game is a lot easier than they realize. They just got to put their emotions aside, learn some patience, and the money comes, baby. The money comes. So it is what it is. I could see GALA making a move out of this funky. It is its first higher low in a you know, low, high, higher low. That's a good sign. All right. Let's look at our daily time frame, our 22. Yeah, they look like they're pretty interesting, and this falling wedge could make a move to the upside. You know, your first resistance for GALA would be about 0.2649, which is 0.02 of a cent, and 409 thousandths of a cent. Thousandths of a cent. Sorry if you have a lisp. I don't mean to make fun of lisps. It's just I kind of had a lisp right there when I said GALA's to the thousandth percent, and it caught me up a little bit. Sorry. What if I had a lisp and I was like, hi everybody, welcome to GALA Games. My name is Crypto Lifer, and I go over the coins every single day. GALA is due for a pump. As my GALA, just add to a GALA bag. GALA, GALA, GALA. Is MEXC also honoring the V2? That's one thing I need to talk about because I don't even know. Oh my God, I would love that. What's the most you ever lost on a trade? What's the most you ever lost on a trade? Like 13,000 when I was trading the stock market. And it took like a few months. I kept DCing into this coin that kept getting smashed. And I kept adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. You know what I mean? The crypto lispa. You're funny. The crypto lispa. So the other day I was trading GALAs. I love GALA games. As much GALA as I can get. I just trade as much as humanly possible. Make sure I get a big old bag of GALAs. Then I would call like Cardano's. I'd put an S on it just when it doesn't have one. Cardano's. I love Cardano's. Holy cow. Hey, then all of a sudden I talk like this and I'm like, hey, over here. Don't talk to me like that. Why you talking like a lisp? Smarten up before I hit you in your lip. Hey. I would never hit you in your lip. I'm just doing a joke. Cardano's. I love me some Cardano's. Cardana. I like saying Cardano like your old grandfather that smoked cigarettes. Did you get me some Cardana? Let me give you, hey, come here. Let me hand you some cash. Can you make sure you buy me some Cardana? I played Spider Tanks on GALA Games, and it's good. I love it. I love it. Don't go there, Gina. Don't start doing that. That's disrespectful, Gina. All right? Don't be doing that, Gina. Cardana. Hey, come on, hey. CREDI USD. So I could see GALA making a move. I'm not in love with market structure right now for GALA, I'll be honest. I don't like how high some of the bigger stochastics are. But I do like the high. I like the support and resistance structure. I like the low. I like the high. I like the higher low. We got to break this high, though, to keep a trend alive. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce a little lower and just started hanging out and making this bowl, right? This is bullish consolidation up until November of 2023. Then we get closer to the halving. I could see kind of maybe we might even make a little flag here, and there's your cup and handle to the upside. So you may be able to get it at these prices again. I'm not, and it's not my number one swing trade right now on my radar. I'll be honest. All right, never. Okay, Saul Rosenberg over here. Hey, Saul, Mikey, grab your uncle some Cardano's while you're out at the store. Exactly, Mikey, grab your uncle some Cardano's while you're out at the store next to the Colt 45s. Don't you already have, when you do B-Town? What is B-Town? I don't even know what that is. Shout out to Benjamin Whitmer. B-Town Tone. B-Town Tone. Who's B-Town Tone? It's a clear joke. You're funny. I just keep buying low, aiming for 100K GALA. Hopefully just spend less in life and invest. Amen. I was reading about people who end up really wealthy. They're addicted to investing instead of spending. And I'm the same way. Like, I could go buy myself, this and that, and instead I just like to invest. I'm addicted to investing. All right? Wow, you guys are hitting me so hard. You won't let me watch any of this game. You're going to be like, no, you will work till 11 tonight, and the game will end, and you will not know who wins. That's it. That's it. I like basketball. All right? Just like each and every one of you. I have a life sometimes. I really don't, I'll be honest. My life is this channel and my charts, and that's it. Kind of sad. Today I realized that I've really sacrificed my entire life for this channel and for the people around. It's sad when the views go down because I'm like, dude, I worked so hard and I'm lower than I was last year. What is that all about? But I tell myself I have staying power. This is just a test of how strong my character is and how much I can withstand the pain. And I can do it. So I'm ready to push forward. But if you could tell your friends, get more people on the live, help me out a little bit, it would be amazing. My favorite was the balloon rides and the Little Elves cleaning service. I have no idea what he means. Yes, Brad, very good. Amen. Kush is my cologne. Best time to ever invest. That's for sure. Amen. Sold my Ada for soul. Good call or not? You do whatever makes you happy. I would never do that. But I can't tell you what to do with your money. Maybe it will be the best thing you ever did. Beantown, baby. Sammy, it's life. It is life. Come on over here. Hey. I love Gina first, so calm down over here. Hey, nobody touches my Gina. All right? I'll backhand you into next Tuesday, huh? She's my girl on the side. Stop, I'm stupid. Tune in every day, bro. No, I'm sorry, Gina. That's rude. I don't mean to be rude. She's my mascot, all right? If that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't even know. I might just get the mud pit, Sam. Thank you for the confidence. Shout out to Mr. Brian. Jerky boys over here. Wait till the market cap goes over 1.2, Sammy. They'll all come back. Amen, right? You're just jealous. That's cute. One way to settle this. Mud style, man. Dude, mud wrestling was big when I was a kid. It kind of died off, right? It's like wasn't politically correct. But when I was, remember, like, wasn't Wayne's World? Wasn't there mud wrestling in Wayne's World? I remember, right? I think there was. Anyway, Link is just bullishly consolidated. Like that's consolidation or accumulation, really, on the lows. The low it ever went to was 550. I wouldn't really swing trade Link. I wouldn't be trying to make a huge penny off of it. It isn't a rising wedge. I see it just coming back to the range. It's been range. You can range trade it. Get in at the bottom, sell at the top. Get in at the bottom, sell at the top. Get in at the bottom, sell at the top. Get in near the bottom, sell near the top. Get in near the bottom, sell near the top. So somewhere near 857 and maybe 945. Nice 50% gains for Chainlink, and it isn't a falling wedge. It's not my trade personally. This is something I own a boatload of Chainlink from back in the day at $1.70 and $3 and $4, and I'm just gonna hold it to the end of time, right? But that's it. Thank you for the super chat. You people are doing awesome. I don't like Jasmine anymore because they changed their market cap from 26 million all the way to 260 million. Keep your chin up, lifer. Most YouTubers' numbers are low right now. Shout out to Rick Wilson. God bless you, man. Lifer, I love you. I love you too, Benjamin. Thank you for loving me, man. Big hugs. Big hugs. Big bear hugs. You know what I mean? For the last day of school, we had outdoors day, and they would fill up the little kiddie pools with mud, water, and shaving cream. Oh, that's insane. That's nuts. Okay, and now you guys also want Shiba, CREDI, and Wild? Let's take a look at our baby SHIB, right? SHIB, USDT. Shiba Inus. So I talked about SHIB being in this triple bottom. I showed that it was in a giant falling wedge the last time I talked about it. You can see all my nice little scribblings. That's how you know I was going hard when I was going over it. If there's no yellow scribblings, then I wasn't going in. You know what I mean? It just wasn't right. It's below all the moving averages. They are getting kind of looped. The last time we got this loop with the 21, we did get a pump to the upside. Last time we got looped near the 21, we did get a pump to the upside. We're dragging the 21 away from the 200 SMA. And that is a triple bottom if you've ever seen it. And we're retesting this falling wedge. What I want to see is there a bullish divergence? That's the key, right? And we kind of do. We have the bullish divergence here on the 22-hour time frame. That overall swings down while that swings up. That tells me there's bacon on the beach to be had. You can smell what the rock is cooking, right? If you know what I'm saying. Funny, remember that? I didn't watch wrestling. My dad didn't let me. He told me it was for it was for the other ones. So he wouldn't let me watch that, being a traditional Irish Catholic father. He thought men running around in Speedos just wasn't for his son to be seeing. And I'm actually happy he did that, because I was like, other kids were all about the wrestling, and I was like, isn't that kind of, it's not a little funny bunny over here? But that's, and no offense, like, I have friends that are gay. Like, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with whatever you do. I'm just talking about my upbringing, which I thought my dad was just like, you're not watching wrestling. Like, he made it really clear to me that wasn't cool. And so I was like, by the time I was like 8 or 9, I was like, wrestling's not cool, you know? I don't want to watch men holding themselves in little underwears. You know what I mean? Boxes, old man briefs, or free, man. You're so funny, man. I wear a box of briefs. Yeah. Man, I got this pack of. I want to see what's going on here, because I got this pack of boxer briefs, right? Nautica boxer briefs, but they don't have a hole. They don't have a hole. Like, what's up with that? Like, what is? See that? They're like this. They don't have. Where the heck am I supposed to go to the bathroom? Look. I'm supposed to pull my pants down over here? Like, there's no You know what I mean? I'm supposed to, where the heck am I? When did they start doing this? Anyone else have this problem? So today, all day, I've had these boxes on. To go to the bathroom, I've had to reach in, pull the thigh part up and swing my, you know what I mean? Use a knife, like, yo, like, no, like, what's going on here? I know, sorry for the ladies here, but like, what is going on over here? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Anyway, I had to say that, you know what I mean? Because like, I get these new things, I get all excited, I put them on, and I'm like, dude, where do I take my junk out and go to the bathroom? Probably sell them at Target. Yo, well played, man. Well played, man. Well played. You're funny, dude. You're funny, man. It's gonna suffocate in those. All right, underwear time. Long balls, Larry over here. The package units. Do you ever disrespect me looking like you wear whitey tighties? Oh, here we go now with that. My dad said the same thing about wrestlers. They'll save money anywhere in manufacturing these days, right? Like no hole and have to do you know what I mean? Who uses the hole? Nobody. You don't use the hole? What do? Just pull your pants down? What's going on over here? This is insane. I've been using the hole my whole life. Since I was like 18 and 17 years old. Budgie smugglers. You guys are funny, man. I do see a bullish divergence on. That tells you that could definitely be your bottom. If you want to play it safe, you'd wait for the SHIB to get back above this previous resistance at about 9866 with the 5 zeros, and then, man, it could really take off. That's a triple bottom and a cup and handle. We've brought ourselves all the way down to, like, you know, we've retraced 90% from the last pump, too. So I believe that's like our final senorita bottom here, as long as Bitcoin can hold. And the last time we did the same, look, this is actually interesting. Watch, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. This is why I love what I do, right? Because you can just see that I'm excited about it no matter what. But if I grab the Boz pattern, this song's kind of hot too. It's got me kind of, it's pretty trippy. So look, this is exactly the same as what's happening right now. And we did it right, like we're bottoming the exact same way, which I found pretty weird, right? Don't worry, I'll get us there. But look at that. Very similar to the last time we had our bit of a bottom here. See that? So maybe they do the snipe wick down, get everyone kicked out, go to the volume area low, and then rip this thing. But that's interesting. I just took that from there, and I could see how they resemble each other too. And remember, a fractal is just a fractal. It doesn't mean everything, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. All right. I'm crying, laughing what y'all think the hole was for. A vent? Use it, Paul. I know when the guy said, like, I've never used the hole, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, my boxer briefs even have a crap. Oh, come on, man. You don't have a crap flat, man. That's disgusting. You're out of your mind. This isn't Saturday night. I don't know how we got on this. Someone super chatted it. Shout out to God for becoming a member today. God is love. 528 hertz. God bless you, man. Thank you for the love. Appreciate you, brother. You can guess where she bought the LOL dolls. They cuff and keep them comfy. I thought it helped the package breathe a little bit myself over here. You just pull your junk out, man. This guy's crazy, man. You guys are stupid, man. You're stupid. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. You know what, though? I used to get excited, and everything was going well when I had, like, 300 people in the live back in the day. And that was back in the day. And I took that when I only had, like, 10 people. So if this is our new base, it's kind of like or just like a stock that goes up and down, and, like, you end up getting a new base. I like CREDI in this cup and handle. I like that it's revisiting that previous low. It's holding the zone right now and showing some signs of life. Daily's a little overbought for me on that stochastic, which, you know, tells me that it has some, and it's just been going sideways for days now. It was hot. Remember when it was hot? We need that new catalyst for CREDI. And it's all the way at the 786 Fibonacci level, though, which is a known fib level to get a bit of a bounce. All right, that's Lifer Friend's favorite place to go, the 786. 2-day and the 3-day look absolutely amazing. My baby on the 3-day looks amazing. So I would trade this to 3-day and no other time frame. Not really look at other time frames. Cup and handle on the 3-day suggesting a big move is coming. And what I do like is this swing up. Well, this swings down. You got a hidden bullish divergence. You got falling volume after the falling price. Again, you got to need some type of catalyst. Maybe people like the project again. It starts to rip. High risk, high reward. Like, this is a high risk play right now because it could easily dump to the downside. It's a very low cap gem on KuCoin. All right. But the 3-day chart suggested it could move, and the previous resistance became new support. But it's got to show me something. That's very high risk as far as I'm concerned. Very high risk. And last but not least, but Wild, which has been on a little bit of a tear recently, right? 55 cents for Wild, baby. And it pumped hard. Look at that. Cup and handle for Wild. And honestly, see that 200 SMA outlier? Wouldn't be surprised if we made it to it. However, the daily's getting very overbought for Wild. And I pointed that out. I said, eventually we're going to have to make some type of flag. So I see one of these two things, the Twisted Sister. Either we're making like a sideways bull flag here, which will be awesome. And you guys know this is one of my favorite coins to accumulate. I grab up Wild whenever I can. I get wild for Wild. I really do. But I'm waiting for one of these. And I'll pull a little fib here too. And we could come to the 618. It's further above here. I'm just looking for price action to touch that 21 on the daily. So I would be taking profits on Wild personally at this resistance point. And I could be wrong. Watch it pump to nowhere, but the RSI is super high. All right. Now we don't have a bearish divergence yet. Maybe we get one more pump. RSI makes a pump there, and then we get the swing down and the swing up, and then we get the bearish divvy. But I'm not a fan right now. To me, Wild has to come back to the 21-day moving average. That's going to be its catalyst for another move to the upside for Wild. All right. I really can't imagine you've been on all these channels and streamed every day and are where you are without some kind of funny stuff going on. Bear market or no. Cup comes out with the handle underwear-wise. So funny, man. I know, right? I've been featured on on all different channels all over YouTube. Streamed every single day for 800 days without a day off. So what's your number one, lifer? AGIX, baby. They're just trying to feminize you and make you squat. I don't know what they're trying to do to me. Make sure you take the pump before you use the scissors. Ah! I was just trying to make a hole. I'm suing Nautica now. They Lorena bobbed me. Oh my gosh, man. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And that's 10 o'clock, everyone. We did it. We did an amazing, amazing, amazing live stream. We got all the super chats done. I know it's not financial advice, but why the no like of it? Because I'm just a huge ADA guy. I'm an ADA fiend. And I don't love Solana that much. So it's more like, you know what I mean? Maybe you did great, though. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy, man. It just wouldn't. It's something I wouldn't do. You don't have to pull your pants down. You should just slide under your legs to pull. Oh my God, man. You guys are getting crazy, man. No, what I did is I put my hand in there and I pull up. Number one, I'm like a tripod. So to get it past it, it's like, no, I'm just. Legend Lifer 3 AM here, so off to bed. Peace out. Shout out to Rick Wilson. Thank you again. Always here in the background. Love you. Shout out to Crypto Cash, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for being around. I may try to use the hole now. Sean, you've never used the hole? You just sit down like a woman? I'm just messing with you, Sean. I have my opinion on the YouTube algo, but it's just an opinion. Amen. Amen. And we'll take a look at Bitcoin. I always look at Bitcoin before I go, but I see it in the futures account there, 27,000. It's just going sideways. They're waiting to see how many people they can trick into price action before they move it. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. The TA says a bounce is coming back to the upside. Oversold 1 hour, oversold 15. Right? The TA wants a bounce back here, but we're kind of hanging out below the zone now. We'd have to get a bounce back out of this. To me, we broke the trend. Technically broke the trend, and it's either a bull trap or a bear trap. Rising wedge could break down even to the double bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 26,730 one more time. That is the measured move of the falling wedge if it doesn't play out. All right, but so far you can see the wedge kind of broke out right there. See, we got above the zone. I'm expecting a bounce back to the upside for this 15-minute, but we could bearishly retest. Watch out for the bearish retest of the zone and a drop further down. All right. If we get back inside, we're good to go. We're safe and secure. We got to get back above the zone, though. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Tori, man, you can't send a super chat when I said I'm out. Why are you doing that to me, man? I'm like, I think I'm done, and then my hand's starting to hurt. I'm like, oh, gosh. And there's my seller, man. Seller's just consolidating more bullishly than a lot of coins, right? The daily's pushing up. You got this falling wedge. I see seller just doing its thing in here like this till it gets tighter in the zone. It's got an Adam and Eve double bottom kind of thing going on too, which is interesting. Can even bring this as the there's your Adam. There's your Eve, and then, you know, the cup and handle. Boom. And then continue up. The target there would be 4.9. And seller's been holding ever since that bottom in December at less than a penny. It's actually up pretty nicely. Almost up 3x, a little under 2.5. So, have a great night, Sam, and all the lifers. Remember to hit that like button. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Slancha, baby. Like my dad always said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I'll see you on the next live stream. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Mwah. Ciao, Bella. Hey, enjoy your life. Remember, you only have one. Yodo. You only die once. Everyone says you only live once, but you only die once. Go hard, baby. Go hard. I love you all. Yodo. Yodo. I learned that today. Yodo!